hold on. It's too loud. I'm not that loud. Okay. So just for posterity, this is the head of the leaderboard on the day that I've been given my beta access to the game. So you see, we only have 2 scores on the 20th island. Lettuce's score, given that there are only 15 islands in, is very impressive. Still, about 300,000 seems like a reasonable high score target. Hello everyone, this is Connor, and this is the first island that I played in my first high score attempt of Islanders New Shores. I wanted to go ahead and get a good first island, good score before I started. The first island is not going to vary a lot from run to run because you don't have any boons yet or anything, so figured I would just run a few islands till I had a good one. This one certainly went well. So now let's take a look at the second island. Now, I do want to disclose this is a beta copy of Islanders New Shores that was provided to me by the developers. I had some interactions with them based on... oh, I never scored negative. Fascinating. I had some great interactions with them, and from that, they agreed to provide me a key. I think in thanks for my feedback and the support that I've provided Islanders with my little videos. I love the Fortune Teller. I think the Fortune Teller is a high point value building across this entire scope of a run. I'm also, now that I'm recording, I'm getting a little bit of stuttering. That's interesting. But I also like Lava and the Wisp, and I haven't played with it in a while, so let's go there. But yeah, I'm now thinking very long term. Like when I unlock one of those between round buildings, I need to think about I'm going to be getting this building forever. So for the entire rest of the run, that building is going to be in my pool. If you haven't seen the Fortune Teller before, it scores points based on a few buildings, but also it scores based on every building in your bar. So the buildings here that are worth more than 3 points, it is worth placing 3 or more. But everything else you generally want to hold, although obviously you have to place them in order to unlock more buildings, so, you know, you do what you gotta do. One second. Great, okay. So, let's see what I can do from here. Now, I haven't played on a lot of lava islands, but we have some small amount of green space over here, kind of a poopy statue, but it does have a wisp in it. I could go ahead and jump wisp into... we immediately run into the wisp complications. I don't think there's going to be a ton of good city placements around there. So I might take a 15 just to get wisp moving. And then I can move wisp again into that. And then I'll be able to grab him again. Double city is good. So the 23 by itself is not gonna move me forward, meaning I will be placing a city center. I can place one and then use the second one to jump the wisp back out of a mason, which will score on all this brickyard stuff. But I do need to place one here just to unlock more buildings, so let's go with that. And then the 23... I guess I should actually think strategically if I would rather take this 18 and cluster them up. I think I would. They both unlock buildings. It's only 5-point difference. Fair amount of trees over here. I also am enjoying this color palette. These like black buildings are kind of cool. This would be a 15 that uses Wisp. Alternately, Wisp's just probably never making it over onto this island, so these placements are free. I'm never gonna be able to get Wisp into them. These Wisp islands are really gonna be brutal to try and optimize. There's a lot of consideration that goes into it. At least the way that I do it. For better or for worse. Okay. Back over to this, and I think a 15 is a reasonable placement. Don't love this. Don't love this situation that I am now in. I think I need to save this city center to get it back out of a mason. So instead, as always, let's start with the mansions. I start with the mansions because they have a smaller detection radius, and therefore future placements are less likely to tag in as well. This basalt pattern here is really brutal for building reach. Maybe I ignore trying to get my buildings gridded, and I just place them in whatever angle I need to make contact. You know, that doesn't seem unreasonable. I'm also thinking about using this space now, because I think a shaman might profitably go there. So actually, yeah, let's use the reverse of these buildings first. So take a couple of these, and that will be all that I have space for, but that's also all I need. I think I prefer... It's probably the same either way. Quibbling over nothing. My classic Islanders play experience. Okay, so now that I have a mason and a brickyard, I can go 15 point, 19 point brickyard into 22 point mason. It's interesting that since you can't spin masons, the scroll wheel just stays on scroll while you're holding one. Makes sense, but it's interesting. Yep, we'll do that, and then this will take Wisp. So I actually have a lot of freedom with where I pull Wisp from here. I could jump it all the way back over here. It is minus 45, so it's, you know, a huge swing versus just placing it here. And given that I have the fortune teller, I think I need to not eat a massive negative. I could, however, play more like here and then fill in. Oh, I had a placement, come on. And then fill in around this. That feels a lot likelier for me to get Wisp back up around the edge. Terrace or increased area? I think Terrace is going to be really good with Wisp. Increased area is also powerful in general, but I don't have a ton of floor print here. So using the terrace to get a little more space seems really valuable. And as always, we certified farming haters. I could just farm over here, but I'm not even going to be able to get the fields to touch each other, so let's brew it up instead. Okay, terrace is plus 8 off the mason, so the mason goes next. And I think I have kind of converted myself to the bring the Wisp back up here for houses and mansions off of a terrace plan. That took very little convincing, but I think I am convinced. Something like that. Not to say I won't work my way back down there, but now at some point I can place this. Where's the good terrace? I guess terrace placement is actually more important here than mason, so let me figure out where I want my terrace to be and then make sure my mason doesn't block that. I think I want my terrace right there. Wow, I can actually trail that a long way over, so I just need to place this like there or something, and then yeah, that seems pretty good. Do I want to hold on to the terrace or place it now? I'm gonna get plateaus soon-ish. I have several more unlocks to get there, and these will get me this point loop, but probably not any further. I feel like it's okay to go ahead and place some of this. This is not placeable on this basalt, so I will need to use the sand for it. If I want this all to be my industry area, then maybe it ends up over here, so maybe the fields are over here. Little bit of planning ahead. Not gonna do too much. Okay, so I could place both of these, hold the terrace. It's only gonna be +4 if I get a single plateau, though. I guess I'm hoping for a mason, but like one sawmill or one lumberjack is already essentially that same boost. So I guess I actually place this, and in light of that, I don't need to place the field. See, these are the considerations. I don't want to take up too much real buildable space. It's like this is kind of buildable, but I mean, it's like one building's worth. It's not too valuable to me. Okay, we take those. Let's just leave it there, let it lie, you know. Shaman. Okay, so I did get the Mason, so that's an 8-point penalty. But I needed to unlock it. I needed to unlock buildings, that is. So sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. And 12 looks pretty good. Nothing I need to place first, so. You see this is already 78 points, not too bad. Getting a high point scoring building is important for the between round bonus. Kind of think I just take the 9 that's in a cluster with my other buildings. If there was, 18 is a lot more than 9, and that should still tag in with something. But I should probably be using the Wisp more actively. Nah, Mason's not going to grab it off anything. 18 is a good score. Now I need 17 more. This is a mansion situation. And I guess, yeah, let's go back onto the mainland. Dang, that would be too sick. That's a good fit, though, so we take those. And Wisp is in a mansion, which I'm okay with. Yeah. 2 fountains good. Also, this is good. It's up to 91. We can do better than that. Yeah, if I can make the loop in fewer than 6 buildings, this is still good. So, which, for the record, I easily can. Oh, yes. 26-point mansion. See, that's the kind of scores we need. We'll take a 21 too, but 21 that doesn't use very much quality space. 23 that kind of does, but that's okay. Then is it going to be a struggle to jump it back down? I hope not. That 9 points is like entirely from the Wisp. I mean, 6 of it is, so almost all. I think that's fine though. You just have to work with the terrain here. I don't know how I would get around it. Effortless 14 or 15. We love a boon. Neighborly and Blossom. I don't think this is the situation for Blossom. I mean, we just saw 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It was like 50. I can probably get 30 or 40 points from the Blossom. Neighborly can do better than that. let's... I guess let's keep doing mansions. Like, I'm not thrilled about how I've drifted over here. I need to maybe do a little more strategizing about how exactly I'm transferring Wisp around. Because, like, Wisp is in this mansion right here, and that's at kind of a difficult corner for me to get at. Like, this would be an even worse place to put Wisp, even if I could. But I could also just jump Wisp with this, and then be good, and it's 30 points. It'll boost future buildings. I'm okay with that. And we take 22s in my house. Plateau, as described. Could make some more good city area down here. That does seem valuable. And can place on the lava. That's just kind of sick. Like, it's not a good placement, but it is cool. This is also cool. Okay, can I get into Mason? No, not easily. So I should just place Mason. And then I think I am gonna take down here for 30 points. So how do I get into the plateau? Well, a city center would be big. I could do a lot of movement through a city center. But I suppose if these aren't going to impact the mansions right now, I should just keep doing mansions. Place what the Wisp likes, you know? And this time I'm going to be smart and work around the outside of the structure first. I'm also going to grab that boon. Duplicate and blossom. I mean, duplicating a plateau is worth a fair amount. I'm probably not going to... I can do better than a plateau, though. I do want duplicate. It's a cool boon. Not going to use it yet. Going to be a bit, but... yeah, even... I mean, with Wisp, like, things like a 19, a 15, these are not super impressive. But 26 is more like what I'm looking for. As always, we are just doggedly avoiding taking fields. Fields do not benefit what I got going on here. And I think it's just 2 more mansions now. And at some point, we will transition Wisp elsewhere. That point might be now. Maybe I get 1 more score loop. Okay, so by my previous logic, this is going to be out here. My hops field, I'm going to place it here. It's not as far out as I could go, but that gives me a lot more freedom to scooch this back in. The plateau is waiting on the Mason. I don't think parks are going to be good. I could do sawmill. 100 points. Not looking too shabby for the fortune teller, but I can make this many points. Can I do 49 in less than 5 buildings? I think I can. I actually might just go ahead and dump these. I know I was talking a big game about holding them and whatnot, but it's just going to take too long. And I like having more of this buildable space down here. I don't have a strong intuition which of these is better. Definitely not that. I need the 38. I guess a wall can fit in that little gap there. That's worth something. But this does give me lots of little tucked in placements like that have value. but it's also probably not full size. Let's go with this. That wall, if I remember it, will be good. Okay, can I get 89 points in 4 buildings or fewer? These are actually not high-scoring buildings, broadly speaking. So if houses score off fortune tellers, which they do not, but mansions do, and then I can found him. So I can fortune teller on the low ground to grab wisp, except I can't reach wisp from the low ground. Okay. This isn't bad though, because I can do like this or something. And then still can't quite, that doesn't count. I'm not getting it. See, this is what I was concerned about with building a little bit higher up. I mean, not exactly this use case, but this idea. Okay. Well, 93 is not quite what I was hoping for. But I don't necessarily think it makes sense to hold with draws of 4, just not very large. The fortune teller does get better as your game goes along, as you get more more runway before you start getting, but as the islands get more difficult to complete. Sorry, I'm like trying to think and talk at the same time. As the islands get more difficult to complete, you get more buildings, more packs of 6 before you complete the island, before you start losing draws, so you get more buildings net, which is good for a fortune teller. And all the same, even like this bad fortune teller is still 93. And I have a duplicate and 2 neighborlies to remember. Okay. So I don't think this worked. Okay. So I think it is the case where I place that and then this. And then scoring off that fortune teller, a mansion can do it, if I recall correctly, and some other buildings will as well, presumably. So yeah, and then once I'm in the mansion, it'll be easy to get into a fountain, and then my 14 houses. So in light of that, this also scores off. Okay. Let's see if I can go off with this somehow. So I saw 25. I mean, that's 27. Come on now. And then I can build into houses. 27 is a lot of points. And points are ultimately the goal here. I guess let's take it. And that also works for moving into a house. There's even probably a buildable house in here? No? Yeah. That's silly, but not a bad building to place. Maybe not what I do next, though. Let me reassess. Let me look at my buildings. So I can do some huts. I have a sawmill. Yeah, I think I can make it around the loop without doing that. This is complicated. Already. Yeah, these Wisp Islands are just always going to be slower for me because I'm such a heavy considerer. I am looking, you know. Okay, so 45 is literally the perfect warehouse. And I can get a 36 that takes good space or a 31 that doesn't. Takes okay space. Blocks that wall that I was supposed to remember. mean, if I'm going to do the 36, I need to do this first. So maybe I just go ahead and place that. And then what am I doing with 7 dang parks? I don't think I want to like line them up around here. All my trees are up here, but so are my 2 lumberjacks, and there's like just not very much buildable space in general. Parks are not great on this map. That is true. I don't want to break into the house reserve yet. I think I can wait one more loop. So, I guess in service of that, let's... Okay, +4 per fountain. So if this fountain, let's say it's going to be 40 points on the mainland, so 10 parks touching it is equivalent in score. That's not ideal, but it does give up a fountain-sized space, which then another building can take. And honestly, 40 might be ambitious for thinking about what I can score off this. So... I don't love or hate this. I'm just going to assume I'm getting another decent fountain at some point, and on that logic, I can place this one over here and utilize it for parks. So I'm going to place the ones that don't kill any trees. Should always be the ones that go down first, because once you kill the tree, you can't score it, obviously. Oof. Not the buildings I wanted, but I'm going to assume that the logic I was using previously still holds, and I'm just going to keep placing these. 9 is pretty good, but doesn't touch the fountain. We have an 8 that kills a tree, a 10 that kills a tree, 12 up there. Okay. Well, let's... You know what? I'm going to fill this whole thing, probably, before the island's over. Although I'm only drawing 3 buildings. I forget how quickly these early islands run out. They do not give you very long. I feel okay about all that, though. If I get a monument, that's going to score well. And... Let's assume this is my placement. So I need this to be, like, here. Yeah, that's fine. Not going to place it yet, of course, but alternately, I could be confident and place it there, and then have, like, a better odd of making that work. Can I beat 23? Probably not. 23 it is. Oh, and I'm... okay, so the reason it's 23 is because I'm capturing the wisp. Do I want wisp in a hut? Probably not. Not a lot scores on huts, so it's time to move wisp. And I think my logic was into a house now, especially since I don't have the fountain anymore. Okay. Let's take this. I actually might wait for a small mansion to fit in there, if I ever get a small mansion. I think what's more important to me is just shifting wisp laterally. Just getting that little glowy boy over into this slightly higher scoring area. Heck yeah. Okay, so I think it'll take more than 3 buildings to make another round, so it is already time for this guy. Alternately, I can ignore the wisp and get a higher score. That seems reasonable. I can do neighborly to get around the -20, but even still, like, 86 is just more points. And I don't think anything I'm holding is good to place here. It's like this does not feel like a winning play. Yeah, okay. buildings per draw. Yeah. Okay, also I can place the brickyard and then duplicate the fortune teller. That feels pretty good. Like, I don't know what I'd rather have. I don't have enough room. A second market is going to be bad. I guess a second warehouse would also be worse. So, yeah, I'm glad I thought about that. But yeah, let's use duplicate. So we'll take a cool 22. Or a 15 that will give my warehouse +6, so it's essentially the same score. It'll end up being worth more if I can get a second warehouse or more sand pits, but it'll be worth less if it blocks house space I want. So let's just do the 22. I'm not exactly sure that's better, but it's going to be pretty similar. And then we will duplicate, and then we will 86. And then I'll get more buildings, and then I'll place the next one. I feel like 2 buildings on the island is lower than the demo gave you. I feel like they probably designed the demo... I think I'll have a circus spot maybe here. They probably designed the demo to give you more boons so we can play with the fun feature, which I approve of. That is cool and fun and good. So that makes neighborly -20. I guess I could have used neighborly on this guy, but... will my neighborly be better? I'm gonna gamble that I will get at least one chance to make neighborly better. So 81 or a 75 that moves the wisp. And I could then shift wisp back into these 3 mansions. I mean, that does feel good. How do I get the wisp back out of the mansion? That's a great question. Maybe a single park. If I get a single park or fountain and I have the warehouse to give me some runway. That's probably good enough. I mean, alternately, I can place the houses first and then park into, like, 3 mansions. Yeah. It's a safer play. Just for reference point, my highest scoring second island in the demo was almost 6,000 points. So 4.5 here as I'm kind of feeling the island drawing thin is not great or horrible. If I want to place this market, it kind of has to be there. I don't think I have any other even acceptable options. So let's start housing it up. And I know that I initially shifted away from this angle, but I have now realized I have so many houses that I will actually need to build over here as well. So we're going to backfill that area. The houses have enough detection that I'm not as worried about them as far as wisp is concerned. I don't know if this leaves enough wall space, but I guess instead I can do like a cursed placement like that, and then I'm not going to be able to fit 2 buildings here, but I could fit a wall along that line, so I don't want to take away that market spot yet. That would feel really bad if that ends up being the only placeable market or something. Is there a legal hermitage? Probably not. Huzzah! Okay. Well, never gotten a second hops field in this whole time, so. I'm also now realizing that this was not my intended warehouse spot. This was, so the market's already a little blocked, but warehouse into market will still be better. 6 houses. Need like 100 points. This is rough. So I actually weirdly think I'd just go ahead and start dropping these. Like, it'd be great to have a wall plateau instead or something, but I don't think that's realistic. So that works, and then I can place one L-shaped building here. I'd rather it be a house, and I'd rather it be on the other corner so I can get Wisp out. And if I'm going to be getting Wisp out of a house, then it'd be great to be able to place this one first. This weird shape is kind of screwing me. This Tetris block is a rough house to get. 12 with nothing special going on. No offense to the 12, but these are all unplaceable. I've still got this little square spot up there that at some point I'll do something with. And I guess I have almost as many mansions as houses now, but okay, that's more appealing. So I guess let's take the 20 and then I'll be able to jump into there next. And then this will link up because this area is all built out. Wonder if it would have been possible to loop back, to just jump this way and then go the other way. I won't have all these houses placed for the market though, so maybe that would be a net negative. Don't love any of this, but I guess let's do the market. Accepting that that is not the ideal Wisp behavior. Yeah, there's some juicy walls up in here. We take those. Whew. See some of this weirdness? The wall engine, I don't know who coded it, but it's some really impressive tech, how it manages to stick to terrain and jump to some like kind of believable interpretation of a wall. Not always. Sometimes it looks ridiculous, but pretty frequently it'll do like wrap around like that, where it's just an impressive display. Alright, I do not want Wisp in a wall necessarily, although mansions do score off them. And houses do. So walls are not negatives anymore. I had never actually sort of concepted this. I never looked at it and realized that, yes, indeed, walls score. I knew that they scored off mansions, but I didn't know that houses scored them too. That is quite interesting. So in that case, I know this little house exists too. But if I get the Wisp stuck in a house there, I won't get it out until I get into like a tower or something. Is that okay though? Like, I only have so many buildings left that Wisp might even care about. Let's try it. 33-point wall is pretty good. 20-point house. And then if I get a water plateau or a lava plateau, hut. It's hut time. So I see 17. Probably just not good huts on this island for a lot of reasons. But that does mean I can place them guilt-free. Yeah, one building per draw now. I guess I can't really compare to the demo because I think I think you did get more boons. I think they've nerfed, or maybe it's just because it's the Fire Island and Wisp and everything. Okay. Time to start spending. So, best possible score here is like a 42. So a 32 isn't terrible or great. There probably is some weird little 38 point spot, but I think a 32 out here that will then let me pick Wisp back up is worth something. And if I'm going to be gradually shifting this way, I should probably just go ahead and plop that down and then start scoring houses in here. They're not like impressive scores, but you gotta get your points somewhere. And gonna fit one more mansion up there. Guess I kind of gave up on the circus, huh? Did not even occur to me to leave a spot for it. Was this the shape I just had? I think it was. Okay. I almost don't want to place that because just getting one park feels so achievable. Let's instead hope for a square mansion or a small mansion. So I have good spots in mind for both of those. And 13 is pretty good. Okay, so this spot first, let's check that. Seeing no, we will place this 13. Classic fish kite, 40 points. Not too bad. I'll place the towers first, of course, so be a little bit more. Now, this mansion. So far, so mid. I guess it's going to be hard to get back out of the tower, but the fish kite will pick it up. And I can neighborly a tower. That's pretty good. Yeah. Haven't had a lot of neighborly opportunities. This was probably a mistake. I should have just neighborlied it like right here, but I did need that space for houses. Now there's a 61 up here on the slope. Place this mansion first, it's an extra point, but if I hold the mansion until I get a lot of stuff, could be more than a point. So yeah, let's just tank the 61, and then I wonder if neighborly still allows Wisp to jump. Seems like yeah. Actually, it seems like no, I don't see a point value over the tower. That was kind of hard to pick out. Sure enough, lava platform. So this is my best uses for that, right? That's not bad at all, actually, and it's going to be helpful for the fish kite. So we take those. Just gonna try a couple options here. 42 is better than what I had before. I don't remember exactly what I had before, but less than 42. I mean, even 50 is like perfect here, so I think we take 42. I think that is plenty good. And am I placing every building? Probably not. I'm gonna hold this mansion. I'm a believer. So this is only scoring lower because there's no wisp in it. Everything else is the same. Unfortunately, I am exactly 1 point short. So I'm gonna have to place something. So I guess that's the hut. Take any of these various 17s. And then a neighborly tower for 56 points. Not bad, not bad. Not like my best second island ever or anything, but we are scoring points. Shame. Well, even with a 90-point fish kite and a... Well, do I need all 20? I need... No, I don't. So I can place this here, which is going to give me a good spot for this. I mean, 23 is quite good. I'm not getting the shaman, but everything else... That seems to me like probably the best I can do. I might see if I can fit it a little closer in here somehow, but the clipping is devious. Okay, I was about to be really confused. I'm like, why is this not placeable? But it is what it is. Yeah, that's not gonna work. Okay, so just right on top of all this. Got like a 23 when I want it, and a 90-point fish kite. That feels good. So if I duplicated the fish kite and then neighborlied it, it would have been worth just about the same. So ultimately the right choice, because getting the points earlier is worth more. I think that was like a 85 or something, approximately. This is cool. I can get a 21. It's not going to be progress to the next island, but... And then I think 23 is the highest. And... Ta-da! Okay, so one neighborly unused. I could have used it for this, but again, there's some conflict there with these houses taking up that building space. I love this black and orange color scheme. This looks cool. Duplicating the terrace would have been quite powerful. I got a lot of points out of Wisp, but still it was difficult to utilize because of the limited building space I had here. Leaving the island with one neighborly boon, nothing else. Let's move on. Ooh. 2 extra boons and a mountain shrine, which is new. Yeah, let's hit the mountain shrine. So, my first time seeing this. Minus 50 for other shrines. It doesn't like industry. It likes a lot of stuff. House, mansion, wall house, city center, all nature. Not fields, but that's fine. And then it detects downward. Ah, okay, so that's how it was engineered to be better higher up. Okay, so one of these 2 peaks is probably going to have to go to this guy. and I can just leave them available until then. But it'll score off every house I place and whatnot. That seems fine. Okay. No sand, so no sand pits, and this whole area here is all cramped up. Okay, getting the statue very much doesn't actually seem possible. So, could just place 2 of these off in Nowheresville. I guess let's think critically for a second. So if I'm building as much of my city here as I can, I'm pretty quickly going to run out of that potential. So do I want to pivot my city? No, there's really no good flat ground anywhere except for this middle span. So the middle area will be pretty valuable. I'll fill all this up, at least a bit of it, with houses eventually, but I think, where are my infrastructure buildings going? Or my production buildings, I guess. Industry is the word I'm looking for. So I could do lumber over here. Fishers could go anywhere. Then my market's going to want to be like on a wall plateau right here or something. Maybe overhanging all of this. So if my market's going to be there, then my warehouse will need to be fairly close by. This seems like potentially valuable space to use, but also potentially not. It will be detected by this. Shrine. Yeah, I guess I'm worried about taking up some of this space, but I mean, I gotta place it somewhere, you know? Maybe we just go out here. Keep them kind of close together and don't use too valuable of a spot. Similarly, for seaweed, I've really grown to appreciate being able to form like a closed inlet. Just like in the first game, it's a powerful way to go. I did not get any... Oh, I got 5 fields, yeah. Sorry. Brain fully off. Let's... I don't like pointing it in as much. I know I do this a lot, but I don't like how it affects the ability of other buildings to detect it, because this is the shape of the seaweed field, right? So like placing this here facing that direction means that I can't tag it, but if I place it here facing the other direction, it's easy to tag. But I also don't need to pick up those fish. Okay, so I don't need to place it there. I was just thinking about city centers and warehouses and stuff. And maybe this inlet can be my seaweed field. I already have 5, so I'm going to be placing a lot of them. And let's start there. And then maybe this is reasonable. Maybe. I don't love how many of these seaweed fields I'm already going to have to place, but it is what it is. Yeah, because I haven't really been scoring the statues. I'm a little behind on points. But don't worry, I will rectify that with my single city center. This island shape is not ideal for points. It's cute, but not ideal for points. Okay. Where is Shaman going? Shaman could go here, 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 here. These flowers are what I'm considering. There's also a couple down here. No other flowers that I see. So maybe I actually wanna start with something like this. I don't know. I feel like having them touching together is still going to be better. And then I'll just accept that the shaman will take whatever negative it does, and that's the life of a shaman. very strategically placing those. Leaving a gap there, I'm aware, but taking up less of the more valuable space further in. Not worth much yet. I don't really have any height on this island, though, so... Let's take lumber. Okay, that's good. That seaweed field helps out quite a bit. Especially because... No, that won't be... I might have gone the wrong direction here. But there'll be a few, 2 or 3, the double count in here. Where else do I put it alternately? Further out, I guess. That's also kind of meh. I mean, yeah, maybe 2 or 3. Okay, I think it is gonna be here, but let's go ahead and take the boon since we unlocked it with that undid building. So it removes 60% of what it originally scored. So this is 60% of your highest scoring building twice. Because you can place it. Oh, no, it doesn't. Okay, I misconsidered. So you don't get the building back. You just destroy it and can replace it. And you lose 40% of the points you got from it. So this is only good if you have like one good temple spot. You place a big temple, shatter it, place another big temple. Given the buildings that I have unlocked so far, I don't think this is for me. I think it might be good to the market, it might be good to the warehouse, but even still, you need multiples of those buildings. So take increase area. And I am curious. Interesting. Okay. I think we do proceed here, and this might be a good source for the rest of the points I need this lap. Alright, well, if you gotta do it, you gotta do it. We like masons. Certified mason enjoyer, that's me. And a 22 pointer is fine. Yeah, it's fine. This area is already going to suck for houses and whatnot. I probably should be intentionally speccing into industry more, but I mean, I'm taking the industry buildings. There's only so much I can do. That is better. Lighthouse is a single high-scoring building. That's nice. Does Mountain Shrine care? No. And Lighthouse... Well, I think maybe I wait just a little bit, but I do already have like 46, which is pretty fun. But yeah, we'll hold off a little bit. I don't exactly know why I'm placing these here, I guess. Just to score off them in the short term. That does matter, I do need points. So I can get 12 or 13 right there, 8 out here, 7, 10. I unfortunately do think I need 100% of the space up here, and I also think they hurt the Mountain Shrine. So instead we will take a somewhat disappointing 7-pointer. Try and find one that isn't going to conflict with the second one I place. Hold this until we get a second seaweed farm. Okay, back to mansions it is. I think if this was a long arm in, it would touch that and work. I also could fit a different long arm right there. So do I kill these flowers now? No, I'm not willing to kill them yet. I will just take this, though. That's fine. Okay, that was a good building get. It was a lucky shape. Gonna be a good fountain whenever I do build it up here. Everything's all clustered up. Okay. So option A is I just eat the negative and get a lot of good placement opportunities out of it. Option B is I place that over here and don't have as good or any good options, but I do get more points right now, which is kind of relevant, especially since I have Fortune Teller coming eventually. Shrink and bargain. Shrink and bargain. This persists between islands sucks. So duplicating 2 of my most valuable building. Oh, I only get 1 copy of the bargain. So I get 1. Yeah, this is a change from the initial run of the demo. That makes sense. They rebalanced it. So I get my most valuable building once again. But my choices are limited to a single option. So it's like duplicate, but I doesn't have to be the rightmost building, but instead I get these 5 locks. That does not super appeal to me. I duplicate a lighthouse and I get 40, maybe 50 more points. Nah, I think I'm gonna take the shrink, especially since I'm a little constrained on space. That could be quite helpful. I think I'm gonna do this. I think it gives me a lot of opportunity for valuable placements around here. Okay. Getting close to where I'm good with the lighthouse. "24" over there locks in this mountain shrine, which, you know, they're more or less the same right now. It's also a much more out of the way. 22, 23. 3 right here. That's pretty good. I will take that, and then it's back to mansions. I don't want to kill these flowers. I think I'm getting shaman next, or at least very soon. I guess I need fountain first, right? Always more to think about. "51 might be the perfect score. I'm touching water everywhere and my entire seaweed operation. Aha! I did not need to get anything else first. Okay, so 22, 24 in a weirder spot, but not like a bad spot. Lots of 22s. I mean, this is probably better than this, because I've already placed a couple of mansions over there. So yeah, let's take that. Some 10-pointers. Could also take this 12 down here, or get away from the negatives to get any of a number of better scores. Like 18 right here is kind of fun. 13 down here might impact some houses, but is not going to probably work for my warehouse. I'm going to take this 14 with a bunch of minuses. That seems reasonable. And then lots of different sixes here. And just going to follow that into a 14 up here on this kind of high groundy spot. Okay, let me actually choose my building first. Fountain. Ooh, okay, lots of city to build. Good thing I have the shaman down. Demolish and level up. Okay, well. I mean, at this point, I think I'd be demolishing like a mansion. And then it has to be the same shape mansion to fill that spot. That's going to be a no from me, dog. Trying to find some... '21 that I feel good about, basically. Because I am giving up buildable space no matter how I place this. Which actually, given how many mansions I have, is not worth it. I should just build and then utilize my space efficiently. It is tempting though, but I don't think it's worth it. I think I go back to this process. I have 2 fountains, so my thought is I need to place one now just to not get fountain blocked in the future. And now that I have a fountain there, maybe I do, wait a minute. Lots to consider. I am definitely not confident in these decisions. But I am making legal gameplays. That's what really matters. Clicking the button. Various uninspired houses. I guess my circus is just going to be bad. That's worth observing. Ugh. All this little, like, crumbly ground is just too small to be of any use. Okay, well that I have to take that on principle. That's just like, you know, bad vibes to not place. It might be illegal not to place that. Do I just take one terrible mansion just to get this opportunity? I think I do. We like fishers. And then I don't think that will allow the fountain placement. Yeah, that's tough. Oh. Heck yeah. Just what I needed to see. Okay. Lots of mansions. Some of them scored well. Many of them did not. Oof. No thank you. Score multiplier is a little more interesting, at least. This is still kind of dog water. How am I going to boost this? Blooming trees would be a big one. Yeah, it loves nature. Man, I feel like I'm not doing great on this island. I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark. Because I got a long way to go before this is like a good score. This island's rough. Some of the island shapes are definitely more punishing than others. Just part of the random element. Learning how to play even on a punishing island is part of the skill element. What I'm saying is if I was better, this would not be as annoying. Lots of opportunities here. Yeah, like see, because those baskets are both hanging forward, I'm able to play like that. I also have kind of a fun 18. Interior 12, 15. Yeah, the 20 makes sense. That seems like probably one of the better scores I could get. Increase area, shrink building, level up, score multiplier. Okay, okay. Gotta remember those. $10, $6, $10, $14. Yeah, I was talking a big game about these 14s over here. I don't exactly know where my houses are going to go. Like, I need another city center that I can place down here or something to make the transition. But so far, one city center, one shaman, one plateau. It's not a winning mix of buildings. Speaking of, do I try and improve my houses down here kind of limply by just laying a mansion? Like, that's still pretty bad, but it might be what I got. And 17 is a fine score, you know, just in general, given what I have access to. Yeah, let's go right there. Now I know I want to place this, and do I start breaking the alignment of the grid to get one fewer point but take up a lot less space? Sadly, I think I do. Except it snapped. Haha! I got 19 and I maintained the grid. That snap is a really fun little feature. I'm glad it does that. Okay, so these are going to be terrible. Yeah, I think I placed my parks up here. Because this space is so much less valuable. I mean, yeah, I could get 18 points there, or I could use it for houses, of which I have 11. But honestly, the houses are not going to score well, so maybe I do just dump parks here. Well, I'll take that one back, get my boon. They just keep offering me demolish. So from 21 to 28. Nice. 7-point boon. It's not good yet. Maybe it'll become good. I don't know. It's just not high enough. Like, if I was really high up with this thing, I could get, I guess, some blooming trees. It'd be good for a nature style island. This is just rough. I'm not getting much distance out of my buildings here. such is the game. I'm just going to start taking some relatively high point value placements, even if they're not ideal for my long-term strategy, because I just gotta score points at some point. Nothing else I've been doing has been able to convert to many points for me, and I do need to unlock stuff, so. Ha, I thought that might work the opposite way. Cool, we like huts. With only one city center, they're not as good, but still a hut. I guess the park is slightly smaller than... No, okay. That makes more sense. $12 that takes out one tree, 9 that doesn't. A couple acceptable houses around here. Not great, but acceptable. So many boons and nothing to do with them. Okay, a statue helps. So if I did want to transition to down here, I mean, maybe I should have just been building here from the start, but I don't have any score bonuses, you know? Like, I could have built this area a little wiser, maybe? Or alternately, do I just accept that this is where I'm building? So I have 18 buildings still. Does this count? Nope. Okay, it would be good neighborly, but it's not good here. So... four is pretty good. Negative 54, not as much. And when I say pretty good, I mean it's a good spot. It's not a good score. But I could just take like a 22 over here, or 20 more centrally, and then build another bad city right here. Another small bad city. Like maybe this area is too much of a dream. But I do like keeping everything a little closer together for things like the mountain shrine. Okay, my intuition says this will be a little bit better. But yeah, a bit of a rough island. It's pretty central. A couple of those, a lot of these. City center or shaman would go wild down here. That'd be awesome. I wonder how many buildings I have to place to get more bites at that apple. I would love just another city center. Like that would really open this island up for me. Don't know if having all these over here is good anymore, but I've committed. I think I'm going to commit to this being on this as well. This being on this. I'll commit to my mountain shrine being on top of this tower. Sorry, I can use proper nouns. Man, I just got nothing. I might even use the level up soon, just on the premise of getting more buildings. It's like now I gotta place some of this stuff. I don't want to do that. but I need the points badly, so. These are clipping just slightly into the floor, which I think is fine. Man, it's doing a lot of damage to my building reserves to just not accomplish anything, to like not get very many points. Oof, okay. Well, 53 is okay. Do I just take 100 points just to have more buildings? It cost me like 30 points, give or take, but will I get 30 more points by waiting? I might. It's kind of a gamble. I don't hate it though. It's exactly 100, which is satisfying. Let's go for it. Okay, well. I don't think I'd use bargain at this point, so. Although more fortune tellers, I can shrink this, I can increase its size. Current draw is 4. Can I get 105 points in 4 buildings? I don't think so. $126 seems good to me. I'm not sure what other high-scoring buildings I'm going to get, so alternately I could shrink it, which costs a less expensive boon and gets me 90. There's a 36-point difference. So is a score multiplier worth 36 points? Probably not, unfortunately. I mean, we'll see. Maybe I'm wildly off here. Maybe even like a tower will. But not yet. Let's hit it. Let's just do one. Just to see. 126. And that'll be another boon as well. Bargain and something. Reroll and Verger. Okay, Verger will be good with the Mountain Shrine. Reroll is also tempting. Reroll definitely like sets me up long term. Lets me reroll the islands between rounds. I'm gonna gamble on this being a good island. I'm gonna try and turn this one around. Because it's not like it's over. You know, I haven't lost. And I can always demolish something and lose a bunch of points. Weird mechanic. Okay. So, Mountain Shrine is going up here. So everything that it detects needs to be within that radius. Trees and flowers are both +2. I can do that. So down here creates a fair amount of that stuff. Maybe some of that's in spots that I'm going to want to build though. But how do I create more? Sadly, I've filled this area pretty effectively, so it's full of stuff. Yeah, that's not bad. And then a bunch of random assorted trees and flowers in here. It's funny to see the random tree just like in the middle of my city. There definitely were some 13s. I might just go with 13. That's not bad. Come on. Help me out here, man. Okay. Now with just those two vergers placed, a sustainable mountain shrine is now 64 points. Not great, but a lot better than it was. Okay. Maybe I'll turn the tide. Maybe this is coming around. Now, next up I'm going to be placing my, maybe even a score multiplier warehouse right here. So I wonder if I could make that a big point boost. So masons get +4, brickyards get +5, so the mason goes down first. This would be a, right here, 16-point sustainable. Alternately, I'm seeing some other higher scores. So that's a 6 minus 12. Could also just take this simple 16. I mean, a 16 is a 16, you know. Now that's another 16 point. Yeah, maybe on retrospect I care more about being able to place this here. So, trying to beat 16 of effective score. I do have 3 sustainables though. Let's go ahead and use one of these. It's only 12 points here, but I have 2 more of them to use. And my points right now are valuable because I'm not doing great. I'm limping. So, take the 27. And then this isn't good yet because I don't have my... Jeez, my brain is fried from these islands. It's also like the end of a workday. You know, I got home and immediately ran into this, so... But I don't yet have my brewery, so my tavern is worth less. So... I guess... like, holding out for another city center to place a hut seems like a mistake. Currently nowhere to place the dang circus. Got some houses, though. Yeah, let's just go out here. And then... whenever I do place this, seems like it'll be pretty easy to make that work. Yeah. Okay, I also have increase area, shrink building, score multiplier, sustainable, and demolish. Still not sure what I would ever demolish. We'll see how I figure that out. Score multiplier, demolish, shrink building. Could shrink this and place it here, maybe. It's silly, but I mean, I have 3 shrinks. And it doesn't quite work. How about in here? Also doesn't quite work. These Jenga shapes are, or Tetra shapes, pardon, are just kind of rough. I wonder if I shrank this, if it would fit right there. It would kill some trees, though. I bet it would fit here, but like, am I really going to shrink a house to get 20 points out of it? Of course I am. Just one, just one. Maybe now it's time to do this, and 69 is actually not a score that I want to boost. My tower's already 67, so I can just accept the 69 as a pretty good score. That's not bad. Not great, not bad. Nowhere to put the market. Also nowhere to put the circus, but when I get a wall plateau, the market will be worth more. So let's start there. And we've got a bunch of good seaweed fields here, right? I know I'm breaking the fit, but I want to be able to maybe put 2 more leading out away. That's more important to me. I've still got 5 houses. Like, I am certainly taking game actions. Like, I am placing buildings, I am unlocking more, I am scoring some points. It's just not a very inspiring pile of buildings here. At some point, am I going to be destroying houses? Honestly, probably the warehouse would be the best thing to destroy. Or the city center. It's like if you place something early and don't get a lot of points from it, but then you want to place another one later and you will score a bunch. Maybe that's the ideal use case for it. Can also be used kind of like a budget neighborly for buildings like a tower that you mostly place for their own score, not to boost others. Budget neighborly is kind of a funny way of thinking about it. Still haven't used this space that I said might be valuable. I guess shows it's not. And still don't have anything reasonable to do with all these mansions. I need like a city center and a shaman. I know I have this statue over here, but it just ain't. It ain't statuing, you know. Second mountain shrine. We take those. They're huge negative to each other. Yeah, minus 50. So I'm gonna need to think about that. Maybe. I don't know if I could have avoided it though. I mean, it kind of feels like it is what it is. These are actually fine. I'm not offended by a 14. 14-point house feels okay to me. 47, 51, 39. Let's take a 50, whatever. 53. We killed 2 trees. Is there a 53 that doesn't kill 2 trees? It's a 51, and a tree is worth 2 points, so those are essentially the same, but the 53 I'm getting the points now. There is also 47 that kills none. Nah. 53 it is. Just worth checking. What to do with these mansions? And what to do with all these boons? Is it? Oh, I guess I can demolish the mountain shrine? I mean, I have 2 sustainable, 2 demolish. I guess that's the play. I'm sure some of you were yelling at your screen hoping I would notice that. I'm going to stop after this island. I think I'm a little too tired to keep playing, and it's showing in my play. But I also do think I got kind of a hard lot handed here. maybe my second statue should have been over here, but I think this transition has effectively grouped parts of my city. I feel okay about it. Shrink, score multiplier. I wonder if score multiplier is actually better at this point, but I can use it on like a tower instead. That does seem superior in the first place. Speaking of towers, they're all the way up to 75-ish, and I don't have these 12 mansions placed. So let's just use parks to unlock more buildings and then go from there. I do want to give some thought to my monument. Even if I have filled this area too much to really score it. And this needs the whole spot. Yeah, there's like nothing reasonable around here. Okay. Well, I'm just gonna count those like a sacrifice to unlock these buildings. Bad Hermitage or bad Circus? I guess the Hermitage. Plateau is pretty good, actually. That does not unlock some top secret Hermitage spot, I don't believe, but unless I wanted to place a 23 pointer, which ain't nothing. Not a lot, but it's not nothing. This wall plateau, when I get it, will be pretty satisfying. And until then, $30 points. Oh yeah, you can't place these on water plateaus, so it's going to be difficult to get many points by clipping. I mean, taking like a 30 just for the score isn't what I want, but might be the play. Could also place it over here to get close enough to that statue that I can get some 12 pointers. I mean, right now I have just straight up nowhere to place these. Like, I'm just gonna be placing them for like, 5 points out here or 3 or like that's a lot of points to just leave laying on the table. So maybe let me do the math. That's 30 versus 14. So it's a 16-point swing. And let's say that, I mean, I'm not going to get 4 of these to touch the statue. Dang. Plus, if I need to do this, I can. I don't think it's quite that time yet, though. And actually, that's such a high score, so this is now the building that I'm score multipliering. Maybe increase area. Points are points. Okay, let's do a mountain shrine. I have to do them both, unless I want to just start placing. This is tough. Okay, so both sustainables and 1 demolish are cool. Full list of buildings. Both sustainables, 1 demolish are all locked up. Score multiplier is going to go on either statue or market. Shrink might have some applications. Shrunken Hermitage, perhaps. Yeah, I mean, it's not what I always dreamed of, but 22-point Hermitage here that doesn't cost anything is potentially worth playing. So then what's my increase area? I think it is the market. And 106 appears to be, like 109 I think is a perfect market. So just getting 106 here, admittedly it uses up all this plateau space, but I mean 6 times 10, 60. So I think it's worth a lot more just going to the market. Do I want to save my increase area? Do I want to use my score multiplier? How do I want to boon this? So that's 80. I can probably get 80 off of a tower, so I don't think there's any need to score multiplier. I'll have another bite at that later. So if I shrink it, I can get a few more points and fit a few more mansions. It's kind of silly, but I don't hate it. I mean, I have 2 shrinks. Alternately, I can size it up. It's worth like 20 points. I can still place 1 mansion on the corner there, and like a mansion here or so. If I don't upsize the market, what am I upsizing? I guess let's just do this. Let's just to make a play, and also I think it's pretty good. Holding on to these mansions is good because I'm going to get another fortune teller soon. I guess the play now is once the good wall exists, just immediately place it because it's not going to penalize anything anymore. I see a 30 down there. 26 is not bad. Come on. I've really packed this area in. All right. Maybe it is just a 30. Maybe that's good enough. Okay, we will take a 30. Now, a 21-point sawmill. It's not too shabby. No. I need to place my high point value buildings. I keep forgetting the fortune teller. So maybe an error to even place the wall, but what's done is done. This is missing some points off of these mansions. Like maybe it's 12 points, right? Maybe it's the full value, but still probably good. And now when I demolish it, I lose fewer points. Right, so that's nothing. I just get to hold on to that and not place it for a bit. In light of that, I gotta place a lot of what I have here to make 100 points. So let's go ahead and believe in the mountain shrine. 8 boons on the same island. Heck yeah. And then we can score multiplier a tower to complete this stage. Alternately, I have to place a bunch of stuff, so. And I think tower's probably gonna be my highest scoring building at this point. And I get planner. I'm assuming a bunch of the achievements will just happen naturally. Take my monument, and I did plan for this a little bit, so I can get 60. That's not bad. Nothing I can really do to help it. Unless I could shrink it. That's an 8-point shrink though, which, I mean, maybe I'm getting 0 from the shrink if I keep holding it, but 8 is not a score I'm pleased with for a boon. That should be the next island. Okay, water plateau, or platform, pardon. I guess I can reach the statue there, which is worse than just using the normal plateau. Alright, so I think I'm just going to be placing out all of my mansions now. It may be fatal. I may not be able to continue this island at this point. Ah, notice I am able to clip a little bit over. Perhaps if I believe with all my heart, I'll be able to clip fully. I believe. I believe. Okay, so that does work. So in light of that, I guess I want to place it right here. So I can do like that. Yeah. And also in light of that, do I want to place... Is this possible? And if so, how do I place it? Maybe no. So yeah, all of these could have been scored by the tower and the mountain shrine. That's on me. I think it was a worthwhile gamble, maybe. At a certain point, though, I just was not getting enough points to sustain myself, and I knew that I would need things to turn around if I was going to be making any progress, so... Oh, I actually placed the exact right number previously. Cool. Okay, so at least these last 4 houses will be high scoring. But yeah, this was not a good island. This was tough. The mountain shrine didn't give me a ton of points, and also the shape of this island is really punishing. Like this, I know it looks like it's dense with buildings, but so much of this is broken up by little gaps and like this little ridge here that I tried to play around, but there's still lots of little air gaps. I never got a second city center, never got a second shaman, so all that I have are 2 plateaus and the 2 statues, but that was a boon. Just in general, I think I got unlucky. Probably could have played better with what I was given, but I several times had the opportunity to gamble on things turning out better, and I took the shot. You know, sometimes you gamble and lose. That's why it's gambling. You can quote me on that. Okay, we'll take 19. That's just fine. I guess if the fish kite's gonna get me the next island, I should delay, but it actually might not. That's pretty funny. Yeah, I guess I'm dead here. That's a shame. 35, 22, 22. Oh, hey, there we go. Nice to see it. So I can shrink or demolish my 1 circus. I think shrink has an obvious use case here. Whether or not it is good enough to squeak in somewhere. Okay, so I can get an 80 if I place it here. So I guess I demolish... minus 27 is probably the smallest demolish that will work. And then I get an 80. This, okay, I take back my previous statements about demolish. I underestimated how useful it would be. Definitely did not do a good job evaluating it just right off the start. All right, and 1 shrink building remains. So that was the 2nd and 3rd island in a real high score run. Now, as you can see, I have just over 11,000 points. My best ever demo run, I had 11,000 after my end of round score after the 2nd island, so I'm like kind of a full island behind, you can think. But actually, sorry, I had 16,000, so I'm more than an island behind of my best possible run so far. So not exactly inspiring. I'll see how the next island goes, but I might just reset before I get too deep in But still, I'm learning and I'm playing with the new boons, and I'm gonna go have a nap and a dinner. So thank you all for watching. I hope you had a good time. Again, I wanted to thank everyone involved with the game. That being the station, that being Thunderful, that being Coatsink. I'm really enjoying being a part of the Islanders community, and I appreciate the early access key to the game. I'm going to be doing a lot of playing and running and making videos, so I'm sure that you will see that content drip out over the next few days as the game, when you're watching this, or when I'm posting this, the game has just been launched. So thank you all for watching. Hope you had a good time, and I will see you here next time. Actually, you know what? I will show you our end of island score. We'll see how much that's worth. Meh, not bad.